Okay, hi all, welcome to my kitchen. I figured we would do another bread, but this time I'm going to do my favorite bread is rye bread. So I'm going to try the rye recipe, and I'm going to kind of let you guys take a moment. Hopefully it'll focus. Give it a minute. So those are the ingredients. I'm going to call them out rather than writing them all down, because by the time I edit this, it'll be a morning ritual. By the way, today is Monday. It's October 15th, 16th. My husband just said 16th. So I went out and I bought some rye flour, and this is Red Mill. Rye flour by me, and I don't know how it is where you guys all live, but rye flour is really, really, really hard to find. And I think a lot of it has to do with people don't use rye flour for a lot of things, unless they bake rye bread. And very few people nowadays, because you have store-bought breads are so easily and readily available, it's much quicker just to go to the grocery store and buy whatever kind of bread that you want. You don't have, it's no mess, no fuss. You're not waiting for a machine to do all of the work and stuff, but I'm not like that. I'm like one that likes to do homemade things for myself, because I know what I can put into baking the bread. And it's always delicious to have homemade breads. And I know one lady this morning, when I read her comment, and I'm sorry, I dumped a lot of videos on you guys on Monday. I had meant to space them out, but I don't know what the rest of the week is going to look like, so I gave you a lot of videos to watch. So we're gonna start with this. First thing I need to do, I haven't put anything in here, by the way, yet, is I need caraway seed, and I need to see where my husband put the caraway seed. So it's not over there. Allspice. Thyme. Oh. You put the caraway seed on top. That's not a lot of caraway seed, actually, which is okay. Like I said, the kitchen is still in a work in progress. I may actually later on this afternoon, I may paint the windows really quick. I'm not going to videotape that, but that's the last thing I really need to do other than the touch-ups. And right now with the ceiling, you're not going to see the flaws in the ceiling because I'm not really going to point them out. But I'm kind of going to hold off on doing anything with the ceiling. That being because of the fan. If he has to cut into the ceiling and he's going to rewire and remount the ceiling fan, then I can go back and do the entire ceiling and with one coat and then two coats where it needs to be. So I'm going to put you guys down. You guys know the drill. You've put up with me for almost a year now. I can't believe that we're coming into the close of the first year of cooking videos. Although I will say 1 month was spent just for the remodel. And we will get back into the cooking videos. And I decided next year, I'm going to keep the cooking videos. I'm going to make this a permanent cooking channel. Share tidbits with you. I'm also going to add the new feature next year, which I kind of did this year, is I'm going to do weekly or bi-weekly summer updates of gardening tips and tricks. And I may add a new feature come December. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it this year or not, because I haven't run this by my husband yet, is maybe how to decorate for the holidays. So that's possibly a feature. I haven't decided for certain if that's going to happen. So for this rye bread, you need 1 2/3 cup. Now this is for a 2-pound loaf. Now you can make a small 1 pound, a 1.5 pound, or a 2 pound. Since there's 2 of us and we do use rye bread for quite a few things, I'm going to just go ahead and make the large one. Because it's only 2:20, I'm not going to be up until 1 a.m. doing this. So I've got my I'm going to move these out of the way for a second. So I've got my water. Put that back there. Kosher salt. Again, I'm going to use the same kosher salt that I did yesterday. So that's number 2. Unbleached all-purpose flour. Well, you can see that's my King Arthur flour. Rye flour. I got 2 bags of rye flour. Caraway seeds. I've got my caraway seeds right here. And yeast. It wants active, dry, instant, or bread machine. Well, I've got both. I went out today when I got the rye flour. I also got new yeast. And this yeast does not expire until April of 2025. And the instant bread machine one is May 15th of 2025. So I think I'm going to open the bread machine one and see how that works out with this recipe. Now again, when you open Okay, when you open it, it's best to refrigerate it and use within 6 months. So it's going to have a relatively shorter lifespan, but when it's open, pop it in your refrigerator and it'll last for 6 months. So this is October, so November, December, January, February, March. So April of next year, if I haven't used it, then I'll go out and get a new one. So now that we have everything laid out, and I'm going to grab just a small bowl. It's going to be kind of the garbage spillage bowl. We're going to put all of the ingredients in the order listed into the bread pan, again, fitted with the blade or paddle. They call it a paddle, which it kind of is. So the first ingredient is the 1 2/3 cup of water, which is right here. So I'm going to dump that into the pan. And I'm actually going to turn you guys for a second. I did do some actually, I'm going to wait on that. I did do some shopping with my husband. We went to Target. And I did get a couple of things for the sink as well as for the refrigerator. I got clear canisters for his sugar and for my sugar now. Although I think I'm going to use that for flour or something. Okay, so we've got that in. So now it's the kosher salt time, and that's 1 1/4 teaspoons. And you just want to... quarter of a teaspoon, and then it wants 1 teaspoon. Okay, so 1 teaspoon, and we're just going to measure that out. And that's 1 teaspoon. Okay, so that's now in, so I can put that off to the side. Now it wants 3 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour. So 3 cups. So we're going to measure that out. And of course you want to do the scoop and level measurements. And there are plenty of videos of me doing that. So that's 1. Two. And 3. And I just found out that this particular bread making machine has the option to make jam. Although I probably wouldn't use that for that because of the amount of jams that I usually make. Okay, so that's our flour. So now it wants 2 cups of rye flour. Now this is dark, so I believe they make two different types of rye flour. They make dark and light. I think it's personal preference of whichever one you want. I had to, of course, get the one that was available to me. I'm actually gonna move you guys for one quick second. Sorry, you're shaking. And I went back into the cinematography mode, I think. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm gonna move you guys back just a little bit so I'm more on camera. There we go. Because you guys, I know, never get enough of my smiling face. Especially after I did like 5 or 6 videos today. So you're going to do the exact same thing that you did when you measured out the flour, the white flours. You're not going to push it down, but you're going to scoop this. So, and this is 2 cups, so that's 1. And then, since I dumped the salt out. And my husband was like telling me that he bought a thing of rye flour. And I remember us having rye flour at one point. But I think what happened is it was left open, or it accidentally got knocked open. And there were some bugs in it. So I threw it out. Okay, and that's 2. And then I'm going to put the rest of that in there. Now, I'm liking that companies are going with more of a Velcro closure. It makes actually shutting things a lot easier to do. Okay, so now the caraway, and this is optional. You don't have to put caraway if you don't like caraway seeds in your rye bread. You don't have to. It has 1 tablespoon. I may do a little bit more because we like caraway. And you're going to hear my bird upstairs. I don't know what he's doing today. I need to actually feed them later on. Caraway. And now we want 1 tablespoon of yeast active dry instant or bread machine. And like I said, we're going to use the bread machine one. And we want just 1. We want 1 tablespoon. Okay. Not teaspoon, but tablespoon. So a lot of, okay, now this I've got to be careful with because, so that's 1 tablespoon. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to close this up. We're going to go to the press the program button to select the white program. White is number 1, okay. Size is going to be a 2 pound. This is going to take 3, oh, in color. Well, I don't want a dark white, but that looks good. So it's going to take 3.5 hours. And we're going to press the start button. And there we go. So, I will be back later on. After I show you guys what I bought, I'm going to move you guys down. Yeah, my bird is very happy today. So what I did is I went to my local Target and I actually bought a metal dish strainer. I hated the plastic ones. Well, I didn't hate the plastic ones, but they were so dirty from years of just sitting, collecting dust and all of the grime that was around the kitchen sink, that I went out and got it. But these are kind of the exciting part. I went and got these glass jars, and they were $6 at my local Target store. And these will be perfect for my husband's sugar, as well as like if I want to put a little bit of rye flour. Actually, I'm thinking once I get my coffee maker of putting my coffee beans in this. Although this isn't airtight because there is no, the lids are not sealed. So I'm going to see how it goes with the sugars first. And they come with these cute little clear lids, so it'll be a good thing. And I'm thinking of storing these just, let me dry these fully off, but I'm thinking of just putting these on top of the refrigerator. And if my husband wants to leave one in front of the coffee maker for his sugar, it won't look like a mess. It'll actually look like it's part of the kitchen set. So anyway, I'm going to stop the video. Thank you guys for, well, I would thank you guys. I'm not going to end the video. I was about to end the video. I'll be back in about 3 hours. But before I do, I'm going to go into a little bit of gardening video. And I am going to stop the video and I'm going to do a brand new video for that. So I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. Hi all, welcome back. It is drizzling, so I'm not going to be out here for a long period of time. But unfortunately, what I've noticed, and you'll see there's an eggplant missing on this very first one, it was starting to rot. And I think I'm looking at the ones that are back, and I can kind of tell these are not like this one back. Well, that one's firm. This little guy is still firm. Yeah, some of these are not doing well. So I unfortunately don't think I'm going to get big eggplants. I think they're going to stay small like that. And I think that's what they're going to be, the size that they're going to be used on. And excuse the bread making machine is going full tilt back here, making our rye bread, which you'll have already seen. But I think this year is a wash for my eggplants. I don't think they're going to grow any further. I'm looking at their leaves, and I'm going to tilt you guys over so you guys can actually see this through the window, through the nice clean windows that I did. But they are starting to show signs of being a very distressed plant. And I kind of had a hunch that might have happened. Now, next week, we're going to be warm again. We're going to go right back into the 60s, and our nights are going to be in the 40s, 50s. So I'm going to leave them outside for the time being. I have a new update, and I know I'm going in 2 different places. The furniture will be here a week from Thursday. So a week from this Thursday, that makes it the 26th. The new kitchen furniture will be delivered along with the couch set. Once that happens, I will be bringing all of the plants in for the winter time. And they're going to go into the living room. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to end up bringing the eggplants into the house. My feeling right now is probably saying no, because they're not going to do well in the house because they're in planters. I am going to go out when it's not raining. It is raining today, unfortunately. I'm going to pick the sage and all of the basil. A lot of my tomatoes are either still green or they're red. And I see a couple that need to be picked later on. And I'll go out there and see if no animals have gotten to them and grab those. Cabbage, same with the cabbage. I'll be bringing the cabbage in the house soon. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the cabbage, and I'm thinking if I hurry up, pick the cabbage, make sweet and sour cabbage, I can store it in the freezers for the winter. I did want to do a cabbage soup, but based on the size of those cabbages, they are really, 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 really tiny cabbages. So you're not going to get a lot of soup with the cabbage. And these are green cabbages. They're not Savoy cabbages. Savoy cabbage would have been a better choice if I wanted to make a cabbage soup, or a cabbage vegetable soup is what I was thinking of doing. And we're going to get into soups as we get towards the winter time. So anyway, that was just a quick gardening update. I will see you on the next Gardening with Joel video.